Hey guys, it's Altasha P, and today we will be making some fall decor DIYs from Pinterest. I tried to pick crafts that were both cute and easy to follow along with. The three that I ended up picking are Yarn Pumpkin Garland by Design Improvised, Faux Caramel Apples by House of Hawthorns, and Autumn Leaf Mason Jar Candle Holder by Spark and Chemistry. The supplies that we'll need today are yarn, the color that you want your pumpkins to be, a pipe cleaner, the color of a stem, and twine or yarn to hold your pumpkins. Fake apples to use as a base, a paintbrush and a variety of acrylic paints, a stick that I retrieved myself, pliers which are optional, decorative ribbon, an empty jar, real or fake leaves, all-purpose glue and an optional sponge brush, and twine. To start your yarn pumpkins, take your yarn and wrap it around your fingers. When your yarn is thick enough, take it off of your fingers. Then take another piece of yarn and tightly tie it around your bundle. Fluff out your yarn into a pumpkin shape and tuck in any stray strands. Cut off a piece of your pipe cleaner. It should be double the length that you want your stem to be. Bend your piece into a V shape like so. With your leftover strands of yarn, tie your pipe cleaner in place. Then twist your pipe cleaner to form the stem. If you don't want to add your pumpkin to the garland, then you can trim your yarn and then you're done. To add your pumpkin to the garland, use the leftover yarn strands to tie your pumpkin to the string. To start the faux caramel apples, first prepare a caramel colored acrylic paint. Since I didn't have the correct color, I mixed my own. After your paint is ready, take the stems out of your fake apples. Then take your stick and put it in place of the stem. Trim any loose bark from the ends of the stick. Now apply the paint to the apple. This will serve as a base coat. Set the apples aside to dry on wax paper. Set the apples aside to dry on wax paper. Because I didn't have guinea pig bedding, I decided to make my own toppings. For the first apple, I'm making sprinkles. For the base, make thin lines out of hot glue. Set the glue aside to dry and then prepare the second coat of paint for the apples. Set the glue aside to dry and then prepare the second coat of paint for the apples. For this coat, mix glue into the paint. This will give it a shiny appearance. When finished, set the apples aside again on wax paper. Returning to the sprinkles, prepare the colors that you want them to be. The colors that I'm using are red, brown, yellow, and orange. Now paint the lines of glue. Set those aside to dry, and let's check on our apples. They're not as shiny as I had hoped, but they still turned out okay. When your sprinkles have dried, cut them into small pieces. Trim uneven or curved sides. Now glue the sprinkles onto your apple. Some of my sprinkles were too thick, so I cut them in half. Because my apple was looking a little sparse, I added more sprinkles off screen. You may be wondering about the topping for the second apple. I decided to go with a chocolate drizzle. First, mix brown paint with glue. Now drizzle the paint over the apple. I used a plastic spoon to make the pattern more realistic. After everything dried, I used yarn and lace to add a finishing touch. To start the leaf candle holder, first get your leaves ready. Then grab your jar. We will be coating this in glue. Once your jar is completely coated, start adding your leaves. Because I decided to do 2 layers of leaves, I am placing them from bottom to top for the first layer. If you are only doing 1 layer, place your leaves from top to bottom. Before adding your second layer, make sure that your first layer is completely dry. As you can see, I had some trouble. Once the glue dries, remove any stragglers from the jar. If there are any glue bubbles, try to cover them with your second layer of leaves. Here I tried to make a thick second layer, but the leaves didn't want to stay. So if you do a second layer, make sure your leaves are sparsely spaced. Once mostly dried, glue down any leaves that are sticking up. Finally, add twine around the rim of the jar. Those are all the crafts for today. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the tutorials that I referenced in the description below. Happy fall and see you next time!